can't believe it, but they actually invited us back. We're back by popular demand, Larry.
That's what I hear.
Popular demand, yeah. Like we're about as popular as getting your teeth drilled in or something. About as popular as having your wisdom teeth pulled. Anything about as popular as chewing on aluminum foil and shaving your head with a cheese grater. That's how popular we are. Larry, how's it been the past week for you, man?
I don't know, man. Has it been a week?
It's been a week.
Wow.
A little over a week now. We were here July 4th for the open mic day. Here
that was fun.
Kerncast, and we had a blast there. I thought we'd start off because last week we didn't know who the nominee for Supreme Court Justice to replace Anthony Kennedy was going to be. And we found out Monday. It's a man by the name of Brett Kavannah. Brett Kavannah, Supreme Court nominee, and immediately they start, the lamestream media out there starts trying to focus on anything negative they can find about him. And today we're going to bring it to you, folks.
I can hardly wait.
It seems Brett Kavannah racked up a lot of credit card debt. Now that's a shocker. Credit card debt. Here it is. It's the front page of every newspaper in the country this morning. USA Today, the Washington Post, the LA Times.
It's everywhere.
Brett Kavannah has incurred,
does it say that on that?
Right here, tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt buying baseball tickets over the past decade, and at times reported liabilities that could have exceeded the value of his cash accounts and investment assets. This, according to a review of Kavanaugh's financial disclosures. And guess where the information came from? The White House. They released it. They said, he got some into some credit card problem. He was apparently buying tickets to see the Washington Nationals.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to see them?
Who doesn't want to see the Washington Nationals struggle?
And these were expensive tickets to see these guys.
He bought season tickets to see now a spokesman at the White House said to the Washington Post that Kavanaugh built up the debt by buying Washington Nationals season tickets and tickets for playoff games for himself and a handful of his friends. They said that the debts were also for home improvements. There was not only credit card debt, but also a home improvement loan that he took out. So, because he took out a home improvement loan and racked up some debt buying tickets for his buddies to go watch the Washington Nationals get beat in the playoffs every year for the past 10 years, all of a sudden, now that's a reason for the Senate to vote against this guy because he racked up. They couldn't find a Coke can with a hair on it. Really?
Yeah.
You can find a pubic hair on a Coke can? I mean, they haven't even started the hearings yet, but here are the appointment hasn't even gone officially into any. They haven't even gone into a private room. Hell, they just busted this news out. This is what, Thursday? They busted this news out Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, yesterday, and now it's a big deal. In 2016, Kavanaugh reported having between $60,000 and $200,000 in debt. Now, first of all, 200. There's a big space. Look at this. It says, Larry, can you read that? $16,000 to $200,000.
Yeah.
There's a big gap in there.
You think so? Yeah.
So
140.
It's somewhere in between there,
yeah.
over a personal loan and 3 credit card debts. Mm-hmm. Each credit card had between $15,000 and $50,000 in debt, and a thrift savings plan loan was between $15,000 and $50,000. Now, credit card debts and loans are common among people. Have you ever gotten in trouble with a credit card?
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't is right.
Really?
You know, and if you don't make the minimum payment every month, you get dinged, and they zap you with a late fee.
Yeah, usually 18%. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, just fair.
And then it rises every month after that. And then your minimum payment next month might be twice what it was the month before. We've all got credit card debt. I know. I don't. Actually, that's not true. I do have one credit card with, I think, $90 on it.
Hot dog.
That's a $10,000 limit card, but I've got $90 that I'm paying off slowly but surely. It's kind of tough when you're on unemployment, if you know what I mean. But I'm making those payments, and apparently Kavanaugh did as well. He reported these filings in 2017, and they did not require details of the nature of the sources of such payments. And the spokesperson from the White House said that Kavanaugh's friends actually had reimbursed him the money. So they paid him back, and then he paid off his debt. This is all they can come up with. They can't find a picture of him wearing a Nazi uniform?
Please.
Please. Brett Kavannah, who, by the way, did you hear what Joe Manchin said?
No, what did
Brett
he
Kavanaugh?
say?
He broke short of saying that he would vote for him in the confirmation hearings.
Yeah.
But he did say he's a good man, he's a decent man, and he understands the Constitution. Mm-hmm. He's an originalist when it comes to the Constitution. Now, there was a NBC reporter actually MSNBC, a lady by the name of Katie Tour, who asked this question day before yesterday. Is it important, based on where Americans stand on issues, she said, is it important that Americans should move toward a more progressive direction over these years? And do you think it's appropriate to continue to take such a strict originalist view of the Constitution, given that it's 2018 and not 1776? She's saying that America is so left. Mm-hmm. America is so socialist.
That's right.
That an original view of the Constitution is inappropriate. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense?
Of course it does. To her.
To her.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose it does. She was interviewing J.D. Vance on her little program. I've never heard of her. Katie Tur?
No, I have not.
T-U-R?
No.
As in turd?
Yeah, I've seen
Are
that.
you familiar?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I'm
familiar with a turd.
But
Tur, no.
And Katie Tur, I've never heard of. But
she's
apparently,
on a major network.
we
I
are
would imagine.
such a socialist nation.
Of course, yes.
We are so far to the left. Mm-hmm. We are teetering on the edge of full-blown communism, and these MSNBC reporters are just ecstatically happy about it. And they have to ask the question, should we, it's not 1776, it's 2018. Should we really consider being an originalist? Is that appropriate to consider an originalist as a reason to vote for someone to confirm them to the Supreme Court? Really? Who are these people? But I have to take it back. Now, this is funny. When was the announcement? Was it Goose? Was it Monday?
Yes.
Was it Monday? It was Monday. Okay.
Goose says Monday.
Monday. It was Monday that at 9 o'clock Eastern time, I think, that they made the announcement.
6 o'clock our time,
yeah,
right.
6 o'clock our time.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Kavanaugh, Brett Kavanaugh, was the president's nominee. They had not announced it last week. They didn't announce it 2 weeks ago.
No.
They announced it on Monday. But yet, I love this. Have you ever seen this website called Campus Reform?
Am I missing something? No, I have not seen Campus Reform.
CampusReform.com.
I'm still worried about Kennedy and his credit cards. I think we should hang it.
I think that Campus Reform is probably one of the more entertaining of the quote-unquote conservative, or if you will, right-wing fascist websites.
Oh, great. We have a right-wing fascist website.
Exactly.
This is great.
Well,
what do they say?
Like to go on. They do these man-on-the-street interviews.
Oh, okay.
So they sent this guy out, and I believe this was in New York City. Yeah, New York University. Mm-hmm. He heads out to New York University to ask students what they thought about the new justice, the new nominee to replace Kennedy.
Yeah.
Even though it had not been named, he had not been named yet. Trump had not actually named the Kavanaugh or anybody for that matter. Mm. But they go out and they do this, and I love it. They trick these kids. Idiot. Oh my God. Watch this video. This is from campusreform.com. We got that?
I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in New York City talking to students about President Trump's Supreme Court pick. The only thing is he hasn't made that pick yet. Will people still have opinions on who it was, though? Let's find out. I think the big thing that's been in the news today, Supreme Court, Justice Kennedy stepping down, so there's a vacancy. All week people were worried about who it was going to be. This week he made his announcement. What's your reaction to the justice that he nominated today?
I'm honestly not surprised by his choice, but that's just worse for us.
I just saw the pick and I was like, it's almost at a point where you kind of expect that it's not going to be what you want.
He's quite, extreme in his views, and I don't know if it would make the Supreme Court very even.
I see it all over the news that he's racist and shit.
This new nominee is very racist, and I think it's starting a new wave of something
something very negative, and I'm really scared about what happens in the future and what choices he'll make.
And so what reaction have you seen on social media today after the news?
Oh, outrage, as it should be.
If this is just a reoccurring thing, he keeps doing this with different positions and just doing whatever he wants, abusing his power.
And do you feel like his pick is an abuse of power?
Basically, yeah.
His entire cabinet and everyone he's chosen has been the white supremacist Legion of Doom, and it's dangerous to everyone who looks like me.
You feel like the Supreme Court nominee today kind of falls in that same line?
Of course. They should all wear white hoods and burn crosses at the Capitol, because that's exactly the move. That's what they're going for.
And the fact that he would put someone up there that is so racist and is not practicing the equality that we need to see, it's insulting, and he's not gonna last. I mean,
So you're not a fan of the pick?
I'm really not.
I did speak to my dad a couple days ago, and I know he was not a huge fan of the decision that he made.
What would be your message to President Trump on what qualities you would want a Supreme Court justice to have?
Black, a black woman.
Is it wrong, though, to suggest someone be picked just on the color of their skin, though?
I mean, but I said black women for a reason. Black women were the only ones who really turned out in full majority to not vote for President Trump.
I think you should just listen to the people, get the opinions of what people actually want.
Do you think President Obama listened to the opinions of the people when he nominated 2 Supreme Court justices?
I was young then, so I can't say that either.
Listen to your people. That's what you were hired to do. You've never been hired to do anything, but...
Didn't they also hire him, though, to nominate Supreme Court justices?
They did.
If you were picking a Supreme Court justice, what qualities would you want them to have?
Someone who's actually just. I definitely want them to be liberal and look to the views of the minorities. Like, the previous Supreme Court justice was a swing vote. Like, you should have some balance. You shouldn't just be all on one side.
President Obama did pick 2 liberal justices, though.
But now it's all conservative.
We have to just keep getting our voices out there.
Keep resisting.
Yeah, we have to. Because, obviously, if that's his pick, then, there's nothing we can truly, do as, citizens other than, really get our voices out there that is not.
What do you say? What do you say to that? Now remember, that was recorded on Saturday, the 7th?
Yeah.
I think of July, right? So that was recorded on the 7th, on Saturday. It was posted at campusreform.com on Sunday morning, and it wasn't until Monday night that the announcement is made. I love my favorite one out of the bunch is the young man that says, well, I was talking to my father about this nominee just last night. And he said, well, by God, that guy's a Nazi. Why don't you just bring in a bunch of pointy hoods? Those are college students at New York University. That's a $60,000 a year tuition, minimum. And are the parents getting what they're paying for there?
You think?
You think? It's a sad, sad state of affairs, folks. A very, very sad state of affairs. That is the future of our freaking nation right there. And all we can find on Kavanaugh is, like I said, apparently he racked up some credit card debt. Oh, by the way, he didn't rack up credit card debt going to a strip club or picking up hookers. Or a casino, exactly. He racked up by, doing some home improvements on his house there in D.C., going to see the Washington Nationals and taking his buddies, buying a few beers, going to some playoff games. Admittedly, 60 G's on the low end is pretty hefty, a pretty hefty sum of money for a baseball ticket. I don't even know what the hell does a baseball game cost nowadays, especially the Washington Nationals. I mean, the Dodgers, the Mets, even the Cubs, right, would be a pretty good hefty sum of cash.
I think I've looked into Giants games. And I think the cheapest ticket up there is like $50, $75.
I like to go on free hot dog night.
$50 to $75?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
I remember when they were $16 for a bleacher ticket.
Well, I remember going to see the Miami Dolphins for about $18, $20 back when I lived in Miami, the New Orleans Saints.
Oh man, back then,
I could never be a Supreme Court nominee. I could never run for anything because they would find out that when I was in New Orleans,
you were a Saint fan.
I was. Well, yeah, I did have the paper bag over my head,
but it had the fleur de lis on it.
I didn't pay for the tickets.
Yeah,
I never paid for the tickets because Tom Benson, the owner, gave me free tickets when I lived in New Orleans. So that could be a big controversy for me. The big controversy right now, which was posted at this website's Facebook page, was that someone claiming to have seen me recently at the Goodwill store on, was it Rosedale Highway?
That's where it was.
And I'm a big fat guy, and I shouldn't be pretending that I'm such a tough dude because I get winded just walking from my car to the store. Now, first issue here is there even a Goodwill store on Rosedale Highway? I don't think I've ever seen
There's one right near there on Coffee.
On Coffee, yes, I have passed by that one. But I haven't even been to the Goodwill store near my house over in Oildale for 3 or 4 years.
There's one on White Lane, too.
There was one on White Lane. Well, I'm glad you know where it's at. We can go there together and huff and puff as we walk to the car.
And beat people up.
This is
Don't screw with old people is all I can say.
Well, that's a good
we
point.
don't fight fair.
The thing of it is, don't mess around with old guys like Larry and myself because, honestly, life in prison really doesn't mean that much to a guy.
No, we ain't got that long left.
You ain't got that much time to go.
What we got to lose?
Don't be messing around with us old guys. No, we're not tough. We're not tough.
No.
But then, whoever said I was a tough guy?
I don't know.
Larry, you've known me for what, 30 freaking years or something like that. Yeah. Have I ever been a tough guy?
No, you've been a pussycat the whole damn
warm
time.
And fuzzy.
Man.
I'm like a tribble.
Exactly. I was just thinking, that immediately sprung to mind was when I heard tribble.
Bruce would love that.
Oh, Trekkie guy.
I'm just a little cute little tribble. Oh, for the love of Pete.
They eat practically everything.
They eat everything. Well, that's me. Oh, for the love of Pete. I actually almost got something to eat at the mall the other day. Almost.
Yeah. What stopped you?
My wallet.
Yeah. That'll do it every time.
I was walking by Lucille's.
They don't have any dollar specials in the mall.
Oh, no. Yeah. Have you ever eaten at Lucille's?
No, I have not.
A great barbecue restaurant.
That's what I hear.
Chain.
Yeah.
Do you know how they started?
Did I ever forgot about that. Yeah, I seem to remember.
It was the owners of Lucille's. They actually put together their business plan as a part of a marketing class at UCLA.
Right.
And they made up the name Lucille as the Lucille's is that restaurant that went in a couple of years ago there at the mall. And it's a great little barbecue joint. And they literally turned that paper in that they used as their business plan to build the first Lucille's restaurant in LA, and then scattered them all up and down the state of California. But it's not cheap.
No,
it's not cheap.
What a great business plan, though. Oddly enough, in a college,
exactly, in college,
a capitalist
at UCLA
restaurant
too. Another thing,
that's shocking. What are they learning in school?
They made up this
these
character,
days?
Lucille, who's this lady that did all the barbecue down in Louisiana and all of this, and it's a fun play. But man, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap at all. And so when I was about to walk in there, because that's the only thing I want to go to the mall for is food.
I don't even want to go there for that.
Right? Well, no, there's a new Texas Roadhouse over there, just west of the mall too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Check that one out. But the only reason to go to the mall is when your wife drags you there, which is what Laura did to me recently, and I posted that on Facebook, and it's just. I mean, is there any other? I can't think of any other place I would rather not be. Well, in court.
Court comes to mind.
Or testifying in front of Congress.
In a box.
In a box.
Yes, in a box being lowered into your grave. That might not be a great place.
Actually, I wouldn't mind because that's just,
you
wouldn't have. There hanging out with God.
Yeah.
Talking like I'm a tough guy.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. More of the Jazz and McKay show here on Carncast right after this.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
Well, sir. Welcome back to the Jazz McKay Show. We are live on Kerncast, unless this is not Thursday at 12:28 or so. If it's not Thursday at 12:28, we're not live.
No.
That means we're...
we're somewhere else.
On tape. That means we're doing something else. Mm-hmm. We're probably on the golf course with TJ Espinoza.
Yeah. He's quite the golfer, this Espinoza guy.
Who? Estacupa.
I knew we were pronouncing it wrong all this time.
We're probably, if it's not Thursday at 12 o'clock or 12:30 or so, we're probably at the mall.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
We're at the mall.
Come buy us lunch. Come feed us.
Come feed us to Lucille's. We'll be standing.
Is this the cooking portion of the show? I brought a bag of rice.
Where did this come from? I walk into the studio and there's a bag of brown rice here.
Yeah, I found it on the side of this building. Not only do they have the world's largest Kleenex here, you can also get free rice. If you hit it on the right day, no, it was on the side of the building, just on a piece of concrete like this. And I said, we'll probably talk about food today, and I need to, in case a cooking show breaks out, we can make rice.
We can make rice.
Yeah.
We can make rice.
Yeah,
right?
What you got in that thing over there, man? We can soak a couple of kernels, pre-soak it.
Get it ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I've got a Bic lighter. We can heat it up.
I think I
have rice.
I can't afford Bics. Oh. He's the big bucks guy around here. Big bucks man. Lugnut Larry with me this afternoon. I went to the mall.
We get paid?
I went to the mall. Here?
We're getting paid for this?
I don't know. Goose, can we get paid for this?
I'll get back to you.
He'll call us later with...
He'll write us a check.
Well, Laura grabs me and insists that we go to the mall like 3 days in 1 week.
Oh my God! What got into her?
In 1 week. Well, she wanted to go. What's it called? It used to be called the Gap. Now it's like the Old Navy. An Old Navy.
Yeah. I knew about the Old Navy thing.
Yeah, so she wanted to go. They had capri pants.
Ooh.
She thought anyway on sale, and so we went there, and she ended up getting some jeans and. What do you do when your wife is trying on the clothes and stuff? Do you stand there and hold her purse, or you grab your phone and start...
I've got messages, man.
You start looking. This is the thing, we just had that clip of the college students in New York.
Yeah, but they sounded a lot like your detractors, by the way. I just wanted to say, have no clue about what they're talking about. We'll just make up a bunch of crap.
There's words coming out of your mouth, we just can't understand what they are. But the thing of it was, you go to the mall, and I left her inside in the capable hands of one of the sales gals, and she's tooling her little wheelchair around the store. And I walked out, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking. First of all, in the store, oh, check that. What is this new thing? I guess it's new, where they're selling jeans pre-ripped up.
Oh, man, isn't that great? You don't even have to wear them that long anymore.
You don't have to wear them at all. You can just buy them in the store. They got holes cut in them.
Yeah, and they charge extra for that. Yeah.
Yeah, although it's very expensive stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these, and there's all these little chickie poos, these little college-age girls wandering around, and with these ripped-up jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you used to get that done naturally, by falling down on the ground.
I remember my grandmother saying, "Take those jeans off. I'm going to patch them up," and she'd patch them all up.
Remember what my mom would do? She got those iron-on patches.
Oh yeah, those were great too. Lasted.
Ironing a patch over your knee area of your jeans.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it with these kids nowadays wandering around like this? And I saw now they're starting to cut up their own jeans at home. I guess mom and dad buy you a pair of blue jeans, and when you get home, the first thing you do is take a pair of scissors and cut holes in them.
Yeah.
And then, pull the threads out and stuff like that. And I'm looking at these people walking around, these girls mostly. I mean, there were a few guys walking around like this. It's bad enough to see these guys with their droopy, what do you call them, pants on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
yeah,
and
there was a song.
Their underwear sticking out and all of that. But, I mean, that certainly is bad enough. But now you see them with these ripped up jeans and everything, and you got to. I remember when I was a kid. This is funny. It was for some reason in Texas. I don't know if it was like this in Louisiana where you grew up, Larry, but in Texas it was really hip to carry a Skull can in your back pocket,
whether you had Skull in it or not, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was always a ring.
Yeah.
A little white ring on the backs of,
as opposed to the one that was in your wallet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And took me a second. The one that you carried around until it literally crumbled in your hands. You never use it, but you never know when you're going to need it.
Right. And when you do need it,
but I had a friend of mine. He was one of these redneck guys that dip snuff and chewed tobacco and all this crap, And I was over at his house when he had a brand new pair of jeans, and he's getting them ready. He said he had a Skull can put in the back pocket of his jeans. He had that pair of jeans laid up across his bed, and he had a little dish with Clorox bleach in it.
Uh-oh.
And he's dipping his finger in it and making that circle around till it got these are brand new Levi's. This is before stonewashing, before pre-faded jeans. This is way back in the day, boys and girls. And he's got his finger with the bleach on the end of it, making that little ring on the back of his jeans. So I guess times never change.
I guess not.
I guess they were doing the same kind of thing. Now they're wearing pre-ripped up jeans and whatnot, wandering through the mall.
Fashionable like us.
You know what they need? Yeah. Every mall should have, right next to any clothing store, they should have like a beer bar. They should have a bar where the guys can go whose wives are in the stores trying on clothes, or we can sit and watch sports on TV, watch the Washington Nationals get beat, and drink beer.
Yeah.
Then the trip to the mall wouldn't be so bad.
It wouldn't be too bad.
I hate walking through the mall because it's like I'm the only person that's paying attention to where I'm going. Nobody else is.
Mm-hmm.
They may be looking straight ahead, but they'll walk right into you every time.
Yeah.
It's
God forbid they're doing a cell phone at the same time.
For the love of Pete. So we were talking about Mr. Kavannah, Brett Kavannah, the nominee.
The nominee who should be impeached for credit card spending.
He spent too much on his credit card to take his friends to baseball games. Like I said earlier, at least he didn't spend it in casinos or strip clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
Going to make it worthwhile.
Did you hear what happened to Stormy Daniels?
Oh, I saw something come across the news wire this morning. Got arrested.
In custody of the police. Let me see. Where did I?
Yeah.
It's in here someplace. I know it. Here.
Yeah. Well.
Where did this happen?
What did she do?
This was on Wednesday, Columbus, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Court documents reveal what led to the arrest of porn actress Stormy Daniels in Columbus early this morning. I guess she was at a strip club called Sirens.
Okay. Doing her job.
Doing her job.
Yes.
What is their job? Does it start with a blow?
I don't know.
Anyway,
does it say so in the article there?
Yeah. She came out on stage, she took off her top, and then she was grabbing guys by the head and pushing their heads between her boobs.
Oh. And she got arrested for that.
I think they frown on that in Columbus.
Shucks.
According to court documents,
Why go?
Daniels took to the stage at the club around 11:30 p.m. Wednesday night, and after taking off her top, quote, began forcing the faces of patrons into her chest and using her bare breasts to smack them in the face.
I see no problem with that. What is wrong with these people? Where was this? You say this
Columbus,
Ohio? Ohio. These sick people.
There's a law against that.
There can't be a law against that.
That's what they say. There's a law against it. She got arrested, and her lawyer, here's her lawyer. You know what her defense is? Her lawyer said her defense is?
What's that?
She does that everywhere.
That's it. She's doing her job.
But there's a couple of undercover cops. Now get this. There's 2 undercover cops in the club. One of those undercover cops happens to be a woman.
Ooh.
Okay, so when she's doing this, they realize she's in violation of some Ohio law, perhaps a Columbus ordinance, and so they proceed to walk up to the stage to place her under arrest. And again, they're undercover, so she didn't know they're cops. And the female cop, she grabs the female cop and puts her head between her and starts doing this.
Ah.
Can you? I mean, can it get worse than that?
I don't know. Were you through with the story? I was just amazed, you know. Is there more on here? I don't know.
When 2 detectives and an officer approached the stage, the document said Daniels made her way over to one of them and began performing in front of her. So it's a female cop.
Uh-huh.
Daniels leaned over, grabbed Detective Kecky's head, and began smacking her in the face with her bare breast, holding her face between her breasts against her chest.
Oh, man. Arrested for doing your job. It's just amazing.
Just doing her job. And I guarantee you, not one of those patrons was complaining.
No.
Not one of them was complaining.
Except for those 2 cops.
Except for the cops, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they found the humor in it. To be perfectly
honest. Well, they need to get out more.
Well, probably so.
Need to go to different bars.
It's the Jazz McKay Show. We're on Kerncast this afternoon, and we've been asked to... they asked us back. We were here last week.
Yeah, for some reason.
And, well, I think the 5,800 views might have something to do with
that.
Oh,
that's how many we had, huh?
I think the last I heard it was just shy of 6,000, but that was actually on Sunday, and
wow.
they've gone up since then.
Wow. I guess that's pretty good, huh?
That just goes to show you people just have no life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean...
You're going to spend 2 hours with these 2 dingbats here?
Yeah, and he's a racist.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big time
all you got to do is, just log on it.
You know, the thing that kills me about that comment that was on the Kerncast Facebook page was, hey, he's so fat it looks like he'll get winded walking from the car to the store. He acts like he's a tough guy. When did I ever say I wasn't fat?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you've always said that. Yeah,
I'm a fat guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
losing. No, well, it's because they can see you now.
Weight,
yeah,
I'm down to 260.
I wish you'd quit. I'm gaining it. I'm finding the weight you lost. Yeah,
you're finding the weight that I shed.
Yes,
is that right?
Yeah, don't quit losing it. Start finding it.
Coming up on the show in just a little while, we're going to be talking with a couple who've just gone through a horribly tragic incident. They are the Edwards, Rhonda and Jonathan, and their son Joshua. You might have heard about this, was tragically killed on Sunday while trying to retrieve his lost dog. His dog had run off, and he was running after the dog and ended up getting hit by a train. And it's a horrible thing. I think this is probably, I think we could all agree, it's probably the worst thing that can happen to a mother and father, losing a child, especially in such a tragic and a violent way. But the story, for some reason, just struck me, and I reached out to the family, and they're willing to come on the show in a little while to talk about that. So we'll invite Rhonda and Jonathan here onto the program in just a little bit. Stick with us. This is the Jazz McKay Show, and we are on Kerncast Live.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
Are we there? Are we back? We are back. I didn't know about this until Goose brought it up, and Larry, you've heard this story.
I saw it yesterday. Yeah.
Papa John's founder. We've all seen him on television on the Papa John's commercials.
And if you used to watch the NFL, big sponsor of the NFL.
Big sponsor. He pulled his sponsorship from the NFL when they all started kneeling and nobody did anything.
Right. Now he's in big
trouble. Papa John's founder, John Shatner, is it Shatner or Schnatter?
Schnatter
has resigned as chairman of the board after admitting that he used the N-word during a conference call in May. Shares of the pizza chain surged 11% Thursday morning, recovering all the $96 million and then some in the market value of the company that it lost after his comments were reported by Forbes the day before. Papa John said in a statement, this was last night, that it will appoint a new chairman of the board in the coming weeks. Olivia Kitley said that the board's lead independent director will run the board of directors until a permanent replacement is added. News of Schnatter's resignation came shortly after Major League Baseball indefinitely suspended its Papa Slam promotion, a campaign that, I don't watch baseball, so I don't know what this is, a campaign that both sides have collaborated on since 2016. In addition, the Miami Marlins have announced Thursday that the team is suspending its relationship and all promotions with that brand. Now, was this a slip of the tongue or something? The conference call happened in May.
Might be a slip once if he said it twice, no.
Forbes magazine detailed the incident in an article on Wednesday. The report, which was later confirmed by Schnatter, said that he was on a call with a marketing agency called Laundry Service, which he tried to downplay comments he made about the National Football League last fall by saying Colonel Sanders used to call blacks N-words and never faced any public backlash at KFC. Well, what year was that? What the hell?
Yeah, what year was that?
What the hell
was LBJ in office at that time?
My God. According to Forbes, Schnatter added that people used to drag African Americans from trucks until they... What? Although the comment was apparently intended to convey his distaste for racism, Forbes said that multiple people on the call were greatly offended. You know, I can understand that. But it is just a word. What was it George Carlin said about words? There are words and then there are intentions.
Right.
And words, Lenny Bruce also talked about this in his stand-up comedy back in the 60s. where he said it's the suppression of these words that give these words power.
Exactly. I agree with that.
It's the suppression of the words. Now, this is what I actually kind of, as far as the N-word is concerned, I find that offensive, but, you know, it's not something. I mean, look at what the rap community gets a lot of grief and have for God forever
For using the word ad nauseum.
But I have a different opinion of it. I think they're using the word ad nauseum to try and take the power away from it. At least that's always been my thought. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. It might just purely be for shock value for the most part. But for him to use this word on a conference call with a marketing company and then to double down and say, well, Colonel Sanders used to say that word all the time.
So did LBJ.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
A lot of people used to say it in the 60s and 70s.
What was that comment that he said? These N-words will never vote for a Republican again?
Mm-hmm.
After they pass the...
I'll have them voting Democrat for the next 100 years.
That's what he said.
Exactly what he said.
News reports attributing the use of inappropriate and hurtful language to me during a media training session regarding race are true, Shatner said in a statement released by Papa John's. Regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society. Well, if he was using the word, I don't know the context. You know, he's claiming he was using the word in a sense, in a way to denounce racism or something?
That's what he's claiming.
His departure as chairman of the board comes just 7 months after he abruptly exited the C-suite. Shatner faced backlash in November for critical statements that he made about the NFL and ultimately caused the league to remove the pizza chain as an official sponsor. As I recall, I could have sworn last year that he left them because they were not disciplining these fellows who were taking a knee during the national anthem.
That's what I was to understand is why he left, yeah.
He says this is a danger when organizations are too tied to a personality. We saw it with Subway. Oh, that's a good point. Jared,
sure enough.
Remember Jared? What was it child molestation?
Mm-hmm.
Or kitty porn?
Kitty porn.
It was kitty porn.
Pedophilia, right? Yeah.
You could look at that guy and tell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at that Jared guy, and you just know he's a toucher. He's a kid toucher. You know? You just look at him and you can tell.
I could see that in the congressional hearings today. He's a toucher.
He's a kid toucher, that guy. Well, so anyway, Schnatter is no longer the CEO or chairman of Papa John's. He's still tied with the brand's image, and they're going to have to change the name.
They are. Maybe the Chef Way.
Maybe you have to, what?
Maybe the Chef Way.
The Chef Way?
Yeah, Chef Way. Chef Way rice. It's no longer Papa John's. You go get you some Chef Way.
Wait, what's a Chef Way?
It's the brand. Oh, Riceland. Riceland Chef Way rice.
Chef Way. You were supposed to say about 250 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Chef Way.
Okay. Well, he does. You're a chef.
Well, Shatner, you know what?
300.
I love watching the Food Channel. I don't know why it is.
Here we go.
Oh, you know what else I love watching?
Our brought to you by Chef Way.
By Chef Way. Brown rice.
We're going to talk food now.
No, I'm going to talk television.
Oh, okay.
Because now I'm going to say something that is going to be considered controversial. What is it? There's a show that they keep promoting on the Food Network.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a show called Wedding Cake something or other. I don't know. It's where they make wedding cakes, I guess. You know what I'm talking about, Goose?
Exactly what you're talking about.
There's a guy in the commercial. His last name is Weird. Or Weird. This guy is so flamboyantly gay. It's one of those things, and they always put that promo at the beginning of the stop set, and you have to hit your VCR to go forward really fast to get past it.
Well, I'm missing some really good television,
this guy has
like.
got like this big old hairdo, and he's all flamboyant.
You know who that is? It's Johnny Weir. He's the...
Johnny Weir?
Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski, they're best friends, and they are former gold medal ice skaters.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Was he like that when he won the gold medal? What is it with it?
I can neither confirm nor deny his sexuality.
Well, I can't even look at this promo, this commercial. The other station that I like to watch is HGTV. They do the home improvement shows, Rehab Addict, and what's that one where they buy the houses, House Hunters, and all that stuff. I kind of get a kick out of it. It's escapism, you know. Turn off Fox News once in a while. Watch a cooking show or watch a home improvement show. What's that? Homes on Homes or Homes and Homes is the new one. I love that guy, Holmes guy. But I was watching one of these shows, or I was kind of binge watching a bunch of these shows, or House Hunters. And 3 shows in a row, the couple looking for a house is a gay couple. And they don't refer to them as being like pals or buddies. They're lovers.
Partners.
They don't even say that.
Oh,
They're calling them
lovers.
And today, looking for a house, are lovers John and Bob. John and Bob are looking for a house.
Of course.
This is better than Neil and Bob. Are those your names? Or is that what
yeah,
you do?
Neil and Bob.
I don't know. Do we have to be reminded? I guess that's where we're at nowadays.
Oh yeah.
With political correctness.
Oh yeah, you have to know.
The homosexual, we have to know.
You have to know. There is no doubt in my mind you have to know. Now, you don't have to know anybody is heterosexual, but you have to know if somebody is LGBTQRS and yeah, 1, 2.
And why are they ready? You know, if they're going to do this, have some hot lesbians.
At least.
Seriously.
You know, I grew up, I thought I was a lesbian.
He's a lesbian trapped in a man's body, folks.
In California, that's possible.
I don't know. Am I now we're going to be called homophobic?
Oh,
crap. I'm not scared of homos.
You're not?
I'm not scared of homosexuals. Not at all. I think they're wonderful people. I've had many friends in my life that are gay. Laura and I were talking about this just last night. She said, I've got friends that are gay who look at the, she called them the swishers. I don't know if that's a derogatory term or not. Swishing?
I've never even heard of that.
I think it's
good. Then you can use it then. If nobody's heard of the term, then it's safe. Yeah.
Okay. A
swisher.
If Goose hasn't heard swisher,
it's
we
safe.
can get away with it.
Yeah, apparently.
But she said that even her, all of her gay friends, like, ooh, those guys, they're giving us a bad name. They're giving homosexual because they're cartoon characters of the homosexual. You know why they have to be that way? Just be like a normal human being, like a normal guy. And belch and burp and
scratch,
but drink light beer and daiquiris. Okay,
smoke light cigarettes. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Virginia Slim.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, now that was our politically incorrect moment.
Oh, was it?
I think, right?
Is it over?
Did we piss off people? Are we getting any comments on Facebook about what a horrible, racist, homophobic bigot I am?
Well, I've gotten a few.
Well, man. Yeah,
well, there you go.
Yeah,
I was afraid that maybe I was starting to lighten up a little bit here.
Yeah, we can't have that.
I can't repeat, so.
Oh, great. I love those. Those are my favorite.
Those are the best. Those are the best. Those are the ones that sit behind. They're keyboard commandos. They sit behind their damn keyboards, putting out whatever nonsensical stuff they repeat over and over and over again ad nauseum.
That's a good term
on Facebook. The fact is, you people are just too freaking sensitive. And I guess I am. And Larry, would you count yourself in the same? We're just old. We're old, and we should just go die.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people
think. White people, and what was it Oprah said that all old white people should just go die.
Go die.
Maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah.
Sort of suicide pact with old white guys, because after all, you can't be yourself. You can't say what's on your mind. Otherwise, or you can't even have a slip of the tongue like Papa John. It sounds to me like, at least first, maybe he had a slip of the tongue here, and said something he shouldn't have said.
Yeah, he shouldn't have reiterated his point.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Once they went to him, and when Forbes went to him to interview him about it, he doubles down and said, well, what's his name? Colonel Sanders.
Colonel.
Good heavens, man. Now, are people going to stop buying Papa John's? Look like their stock fell. until he resigned as chairman of the board, and now it's going back up. Now, should Papa John's be forced to close because of this?
That's a good question.
Should John Shatner or Schnacker or whatever Snacker his name is,
should he be hung up?
Should he be hung by the neck until dead?
Along with what's his face, Kavanaugh, for spending all that money.
Kavanaugh, you got
both
Brett
of them need to be impeached
spending,
and hung.
What? $50,000 a year on baseball tickets.
Exactly. I don't see
charging him up on his credit card.
He did call Hillary.
It off.
He did call Hillary a biatch.
Did
he mouthed the word? Somebody saw him mouth the word. And they reported that.
Well, there you go. He's also a sexist.
There you go. Well, doggone it. Yeah.
You brought it up. Let me ask you this. Hillary Clinton is going to run again in 2020?
That's what I hear. Isn't that wonderful news? Yes, I
Hillary
did.
Clinton
I am so excited.
I guess there's rumors she's out there with a, what do they call it, exploratory committee?
Yes, she is.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
She's looking to...
got the rubber gloves out. She's exploring away.
How old will she be in 2020?
300.
She'll be what?
She'll
78?
Be. She's close to 80.
I was going to say she's close to 80 already.
Yeah.
2020.
So do you think?
Just go away.
Do you think if she got elected, she would actually be running the presidency? No, somebody else would, like Valerie Jarrett did with Barack Hussein
Obama was pretty much dependent on people. They used to make these jokes about Reagan, saying that he was that he really didn't know what was going on. He had cabinet members that ran everything. Hillary, honestly, would she actually? I mean, the latest is that she's an alcoholic.
Yeah,
you hear that one too?
I've been hearing that. Yeah, loves her wine.
Well, I heard it's more like the whiskey.
Oh well,
the whiskey a go-go. That's the good stuff right there. And she's known, actually, when you...
Oh, the wine was, Bill, not a kid. That's right. Yeah, I was confused.
Bill! And then she clocked it in an ashtray. Right upside the head.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for listening for the last hour. We'll be back with another hour. That's coming up in just moments, and I'll be speaking with a family that has gone through probably the most horrible thing that a mother and father can go through. That's the loss of a child.
It's tough.
We'll talk about that and continue to take your nasty comments on our Facebook page here at Kerncast.com, or is it just the Kerncast Facebook page and then the website?
Yeah, go ahead, post away.
.com.
It's like
go ahead and
paper.
say horrible things about me.
Please.
Because you know
say
what?
nice things about me, though.
This skin is pretty thick. And when you're as fat as I am, that's a damn good thing. We'll be right back, folks. More of the Jazz McKay Show coming up.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
I choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
If the best criminal attorneys choose Patriot Bail Bonds, who would you choose?
Patriot Bail Bonds. We fight for your freedom.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
Yeah, buddy, we are back. It's the Jazz McKay Show on Kerncast. I have a clock, but it is so completely far off from the time. I'm not really sure what the... I think it's a little earlier than that. I'm not sure. I have a little digital clock here that I found that I brought in because, I don't know, even though I don't use it, you got to have a clock when you're broadcasting, doing radio. And we have Rhonda and Jonathan Edwards with us this afternoon. It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
It's too bad that it's under such tragic circumstances.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're right.
You know, Rhonda and I were chatting on Facebook the other night about DJs because you used to be a disc jockey.
True.
And one thing led to another, and you mentioned to me that your son Joshua was the young man killed by a train chasing his dog on Sunday.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I just...
It's still unbelievable. It's still unbelievable.
Have the investigators given you any more details?
Nothing. And we went to a barbecue that some of his friends gave yesterday, who lived and was amongst the people there. And they said that no investigators have even talked to them. And they were there.
They were there.
They were there.
At the scene.
Correct.
There's a picture that was in the newspaper that shall remain nameless of the scene.
Correct.
Afterwards. And I saw people holding each other.
Right.
Comforting each other.
Correct.
Those were his friends.
Those were his friends, yes.
Where did this accident take place?
Riverview Park. It's off of Willow Drive in Oildale. And it's right by the river. And it's actually a footbridge where the train tracks are, where he was hit and killed.
So what you do know, what happened? He was chasing a dog?
He was trying to chase it. The dog evidently was on the tracks. Ariana is the dog's name. Mm-hmm. She was on the tracks, and he was trying to get her off the tracks and lost his life in the process. The train hit him.
Was Ariana stuck on the track? Or?
I don't know. We don't know.
Nobody can tell you?
No.
Jonathan, how did you find out?
I was down in San Bernardino taking a job, driving a truck. Was going through orientation, and his girlfriend, she's back in Texas right now. She called me about 8 p.m. Sunday night to let me know. I was in a motel that the company had put me in. I was rooming with a nice young man, about 22, 23 years old. And I don't remember a whole lot of the conversation.
Right.
Other than my whole world just came crashing down around my ears. And fortunately, I don't know if you'd call it fortunate, but I was able to call Rhonda, and between the tears and sobbing, I was able to mention Joshua's name.
That's all he had to say. He said, Josh.
You didn't know at that time?
I did not. He was the first one to call me and tell me. And I was walking down the hallway, and he was crying, and he was saying, Rhonda, and I said, what, you don't know. What? I didn't know if he was hurt, if he was in the hospital. And he said, Josh, I hit the wall, I slid down the wall, and I landed on my stomach, and cried and cried and cried. And I didn't hear anything after that. I heard nothing. It's like a punch in the gut, but after a while the pain recedes, but this didn't. And hasn't. It hasn't.
It's got to be the toughest thing
It's
to lose a child.
It's the worst day of my life. The worst.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
So I went through so much stuff with Jazz Jr. over the course of the past 10 or 12 years with his drug use and everything.
Correct.
In and out of jail and prison and everything. And I always feared that day that I would get a phone call that he had messed with the wrong person, or he had overdosed, or something. And
I understand that feeling.
Yes.
I've had it.
Because Josh was in that world too.
Was he?
He was. He was.
How old was he?
29. He just had turned 29.
Wow.
Mm.
He's chasing the dog, and
Correct.
The dog was on the tracks.
Correct.
And he wanted to get the dog off the tracks. He must have known the train was approaching.
He must have, and I can't get anybody to tell me. I don't know.
Jazz, I went to the place where it happened.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. And I took my 2 youngest boys with me. And as we were there, some of his friends had built a memorial for him. It looks rather nice. But as we were there, a train was approaching.
Yeah.
And I took my 2 youngest, and we got a considerable way away from the tracks. And we listened. I listened. And it was incredible how quiet. That train must have been moving 40, 45 miles an hour, I want to say, in that area.
Right.
And it was amazing how quiet it was until it got
right
on us. And then, of course, you heard the wheels and the engine, but it was just a low whir until it got within 100, 200 feet of us.
See, Airport Drive is right to the west of it, and the traffic, you hear the traffic more than you hear the train. Yes. And then the water, because it was on a footbridge, well, it's on the railroad track bridge, is right there, and you heard the water moving. So, and someone told me he had earbuds on, but that's the only person that has told me that. And I don't know what to, because 4 different people have told me 4 different stories.
Right.
So I don't know.
But the investigators, this is what I don't understand. The investigators have not spoken with his friends who were there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is investigating this? The Kern County Sheriff's Department? Is it?
Right
Evidently,
now,
'cause it's-
as far as I know, it's the coroner that's doing
Okay,
Well,
well,
no, it's
that's-
the
that would
police
be the county,
department though that and I believe Oildale is the county.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
yeah. So I believe that's probably who it is.
But I don't understand. I mean, I can understand them not releasing any more information to anybody, including you as parents. But I mean, at this point, it's a little early. This is just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to wonder who they're speaking with, who they're talking to.
Well, I heard that because he was staying with. I'll get into that later, but he is we adopted him. He was 1 day old when we brought him home from the hospital.
Really?
But his biological father is who he was staying with. I heard that the police have been to his house twice.
The father.
No, the
biological
grandfather.
Oh, grandfather. Oh,
yes.
okay. All right.
Yes. But that's the only person that's told me that too. I don't know. I've got so many unanswered questions.
How about the biological father or mother? Have they reached out to you?
The biological father is in jail, and the biological mother has reached out to me, and she told me the day that she was working at Winco, and Josh had wanted to meet her and his biological brothers and sisters.
This was years ago.
Years ago, yeah. It was when Josh was about 18.
That's about the age they usually want to reach out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he might have been old enough to understand. And we had told him from the very beginning. He did not know that he was adopted.
Yeah,
he always knew.
Oh, we didn't hide the fact.
No. So I saw her at Winco. She was working there, and I told Josh, I found your biological mom. If you want to call her, she's at Winco. She works there.
Wow.
So he did, and he met his brothers and sisters, and that, I'm not going to say that's what started his downward spiral, but it was a hard thing because they were in the world that we have never been involved in. But I'm sorry, what was the question you asked me? Oh, the biological mom. She texted me and told me, Rhonda, I'm so happy that you and your husband raised Josh. You raised him to be the kindest young man. And she said that I never wanted him to be in the world that my family was involved in. And I told her, I texted her back and said, Michelle, you have given us the greatest gift that we have ever received.
Yes.
We've never received a greater gift than Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Because we couldn't have kids. We had been married 6 years, and we'd been trying, and we finally received him, and it was just a miracle that we even received him, because the biological mom did not have she was afraid to go through the abortion process.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, when the lady that she was living with found out, she came to us and said, my son's girlfriend is going to have a baby, and she doesn't want to keep it and wants to know if you will take it. Well, John and I, we'd been wanting one for so long, and
absolutely,
there
wasn't a question.
Right, but before we walked in, we said, Lord, don't make this hard on us. If this is not going to happen, cut it off quickly.
Sure.
Let the door shut. And
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. And when we went in, she loved us, and she said, I want my child to go to you. So we brought him home. And
I tell you what, Michelle picking us as the adoptive parents, I was amazed at how much red tape in the adoption process went away.
Yeah, because it was an open adoption.
You
she chose us.
Yeah,
she chose us. And then, Josh was 15 years old, and I found out I was pregnant with my very first biological child. 21.
Let's digress a little bit. Josh was about 7 or 8, and he came into the house crying, Mommy, Mommy, and came up to Rhonda and myself and said, these kids out here are making fun of me because I'm adopted. I said, really? Yeah, they just are making fun of me. They said it's not right. I said, well, you stop, dry your tears up, let's take a deep breath. Let me talk to you. Those kids out there, when their parents had them, they were stuck with what they got. I said, Joshua, your mother and I picked you.
We chose you.
Out of any kids we could have, we chose you. And boy, the tears dried up and those shoulders went back a little bit. And I said, does that make it right for you?
Feel a little better.
He said, yeah, Daddy. He went out and he just
Your mama chose. Your mama didn't
choose
you.
Stuck with you.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
Let's take a break for a moment, and we'll return. We're talking with Jonathan and Rhonda Edwards. Their son, Joshua, tragically killed this past Sunday, trying to retrieve his dog and the dog perished in a terrible accident, killed by a train. We'll be right back, and we'll talk more with this family as we continue. This is Jazz McKay on Turncast.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
And welcome back to the Jazz McKay Show. I have the honor and pleasure of being here with Rhonda and Jonathan Edwards.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
It is.
Well, the honor is all mine. The tragedy of losing a child, especially a boy that was your first.
Right.
Your first.
The
and
oldest.
you were there from the moment that he was born.
Yes.
When his mother had, after she'd asked you to take Joshua. And tell me more about Joshua's upbringing and as a child.
Joshua was born into and was raised in a very faith-based family. John's brothers and his dad is a preacher, was a preacher. He's gone home to be with Jesus now. John's brothers are, his oldest brother is in the Southern Gospel music field, and his middle brother, still his older brother, he's the youngest, he is in the mission field, right? In fact, he's in Fiji right now.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. So, very faith-based.
Was Joshua a religious man?
Up till the time he moved out, pretty much, yeah. He just, like all children, I went my own way. He just had to
sow his oats.
Sow his oats, discover himself, you know. And
I was the same way. I was raised by, my father was a deacon in the church. My mom taught Sunday school, and I was raised in the very strict religious Christian family. And when I left home, I turned my back on God. And it wasn't until just before my mother died that I found my faith.
Right.
Well, see, that's just the opposite that happened with me, because I lost my mom when I was 17. And I spent a lot of years blaming God.
Yeah.
Which is, I would like people to understand that, you know, God says in His Word, no man can place the time of his birth or the time of his death. It's not God's fault. It's in God's plan, but God didn't kill Joshua. Circumstances did.
And that's why, I mean, you say we're composed, but there's been a lot that's gone behind our composure, because we've had a lot of people praying for us, a lot
we've had
of
a
people,
lot of
and
support.
we felt it.
But there's also been some rather nasty comments
There
made by
have.
people on one particular website, well, a Facebook page of one particular
Right.
website. And what are some of the things that, I mean, these people obviously don't know who Joshua is.
No, correct.
They didn't know him.
No.
But yet they come forward and they sit behind their keyboards feeling like they're all...
warrior
They
keyboard
would never
warriors.
say those words that they type into those keyboards on their computers to you face to face.
Correct.
No. But something I discovered, and I'm sorry that it took this event in my life to discover it, but excuse me, I was reading an article on one of the web pages about a gentleman that crashed his motorcycle, I believe, on Golden State, and they just recently identified him. A week ago, I would have just blown right past
the story.
But now that my son has passed, I can feel for that family. And that means I see it in a whole different way. Because there are people behind that young man that passed on his motorcycle that I didn't think of, but now I do. And I'm not defending people that talk trash, but they just
talking
don't.
trash or just going past a story, John,
right,
and looking on to something else and looking at another story or going to another one after that. That's one thing. But to take the time to sit there and say some of the vile and nasty things.
True.
What happened to civility in this country?
That's a good question.
What happened to civility?
That's a good question. Well, social media hasn't helped that situation.
No,
but
absolutely not.
if you're doing that, your integrity's showing. Because I believe everybody's integrity is behind what they type. And if you're typing ugly things, like what was he doing on the railroad track, chasing a dog, that's a stupid reason to give up your life, and how could he not hear the train, and just stupidity. It's just people's stupidity.
There were people, because I posted this story on my Facebook page, and there were a couple of people that I don't think they maliciously, but I don't think they were being malicious. Let's put it this way. I think they were just being insensitive.
Right.
I don't think they wanted to hurt anybody.
Right.
Because one of Josh's cousins is a Facebook friend of mine, and she was making comments. She was responding to some of these people.
Good.
And I agree.
Good. Yeah.
Social media has taken the humanity out of people.
Right.
It really has.
You know who I blame for a lot of that? The media.
Oh,
the media, period.
I blame Al Gore.
Okay, yeah.
After all, he invented the internet.
He sure did, yeah.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But should be reaching out to you and telling you how sorry they are to hear about this. I don't know you.
We've
I don't
had
know
a lot
your
of
family.
that. We've had a lot of that. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's just those things that you see that kind of needle you. That's just wrong. What they're saying. You didn't know him.
That's the same. Listen. You mentioned the Tim the other night when we were talking, and you just brought it up here in the last segment. If anybody knows about the nastiness, you do. Well, yeah, I do, and I'm experiencing. I mean, people literally, they go onto Facebook, and they literally compose an absolute lie about me.
Yeah.
Pulled out of thin air.
I know where it was pulled out of.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And you wonder, and then other people read that and they think, oh, that person knows him. And so they repeat it. And then another person, and another person, and another person. And again, like I said, they wouldn't say these words to
No, they would not.
face to face, any more than you SOBs would say those words to me face to face. Not because I'm a tough guy, but because probably most of you, a lot of you, I like to believe anyway, deep down inside, you got a soul.
Right.
Somewhere in there. I mean, imagine putting yourself in Rhonda John's position here. And I just don't understand. We live in a world now, we've got a sitting congresswoman demanding that people harass people based on their political beliefs.
Right.
And then she defends it.
Right. Right. There's no defense.
And anybody who criticizes Maxine Waters, according to the National Black Caucus, Congressional Black Caucus this morning, they may say, well, then you're a racist.
Right.
Obviously, these people are racist because they're... Yeah.
No. I just...
You don't encourage people to harass people in public simply based on... Well, you don't do it based on the color of their skin, their ethnicity, their religion, or anything. You don't do that.
Right.
You're inciting violence.
Exactly.
With folks. And so people need to just take a breath and step back. And I say to folks out there, anybody would be critical, look, you know what got me interested in the story right away?
What's that?
Was that he wasn't wandering down the train tracks all stoned or drunk or something. He was trying to retrieve his dog.
Correct. Well.
If you know anything about me, anybody out there knows.
It's your child.
It's my child.
Right.
Yes.
My Sophie is my Sophie and Laura. That's my whole life.
I hear you. Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I would absolutely. I can't run very fast, but I'd be right behind Sophie if she took off. She wouldn't necessarily do that, I don't think. But I'd be right there too, trying to save her.
Right.
Sure.
And I think that's a very noble thing. I think, Jonathan, trying to save a poor dumb animal from getting away or getting killed or whatever, getting hit by a train, getting hit by a car.
Right.
I think it was a very, very noble thing for that young man.
that-
Obviously, he was raised well by...
Oh, thank you so
Well,
much.
and Joshua was, at least he thought, like all young people do, he was indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really believe...
10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Exactly. That he thought he could get that dog
Off
and
the track
get off the
before that
tracks
train.
in time.
Right.
But those trains are going, 45, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping them.
No.
And I heard from what I understand, from the time the impact took place, it took him until the bike path to be able to stop. So it's quite a ways.
Quite a ways down the tracks.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get those locomotives going.
Right.
And it takes a longer time to stop them.
Right. Right. And I heard too that it took a long time for the paramedics to find him, because he was.
Somewhere between.
It was the park. Yeah, I mean, it was the park, and you don't even have access to where he was by a vehicle.
Did he die right away? Do we know?
We heard that he died in the ambulance. So his. Yeah.
God bless his heart.
Yeah. So, you know what? He is blessed, and I know where he is. There is no doubt in my mind that's where he is in heaven. And he's wrapped in Jesus' arms. And
with his dog right there beside
right.
him.
Yeah.
And he is now Jesus to take care of.
Up there with his cousin, my parents.
Yes. My
Her
grandparents
dad.
and dad. Yeah. And my dad and my grandfather never even met him.
They have now.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they welcomed him.
Yes.
So
They all came together.
yeah. So I'm.
Thank you for being with us.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thanks for having us. Exactly.
And you're an inspiration to folks. You should be.
Well, Rhonda said the day after she found out, I believe she was writing on Facebook, that we have been initiated into a club that nobody wants to be a member of.
Right.
And I can approach people and I can look them square in the eye and say, I understand.
Yeah. The one phrase that I've heard over and over and over since we've gone through this is, there are no words. And there aren't.
There aren't.
There aren't.
There aren't. There are only actions.
Right.
And civility.
I just want people to be kind and think before they type something stupid on Facebook or social media, that there's a family behind that.
Yeah. A big family.
Then they're finding, if you type something about their family member, that doesn't do it any good. And if I'm here to do good, I'm not going to type it. because that's what I'm here for.
I know. Look, I mean, I think you were 100% correct in your statement earlier. Social media is it makes people do things I don't think that they would do normally.
No.
I don't think they would do. I don't necessarily think that these people are all malicious. There are some.
Let me tell you.
Some just insensitive.
If you don't mind, I just want to tell you that as far as social media goes, I don't know what we do without it right now, because that's our comfort.
Right.
And we're also trying to raise money for Joshua's funeral. And
Tell me about that. What are you planning?
We're gonna cremate him, but we're trying to get the funds to do that because he's been out of work for 2 years, and he just now started this job. He only had it 3 days when he found out Josh was gone. So I mean, we're in dire straits, but we do have a GoFundMe account, and it's called Joshua Edwards Funeral.
At GoFundMe.com.
Yeah, GoFundMe. Yeah.
Joshua Edwards Funeral.
Correct.
At GoFundMe.com.
Correct.
And
it's been the greatest thing, though. Social media has really, I've heard things from social media that has touched my heart tremendously, more than even people just coming up to me. So I've got to say it's a good thing, too.
Well, we've been able to communicate with so many people.
Right.
So quickly and easily.
Right. I only had to say it once, you know, and the outpouring was tremendous.
We're going to have a memorial Sunday at noon at Family Community Fellowship on Brimhall.
Correct.
For anyone that would like to come, everybody's welcome.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to do an open mic, though, because I know those get very long, open mics. But we are going to do
afterwards. A lot of good friends and a lot of family.
But yes, but we are going to have a rice bowl dinner afterwards. You have to pay for your own, of course, but we will have an open mic then if you want to chat. Because I want to hear stories about Joshua. Mm-hmm. I want to hear how Joshua's life impacted other people's lives. Mm-hmm. I want to hear that. So.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joshua Edwards Funeral at GoFundMe.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You'll find it there, and you can make a donation. I would ask you to do that. It doesn't you know, it doesn't matter how much, 10, 15, 20,
5.
Whatever you can, 5, yeah. Every little dime helps.
Right.
And I thank you for coming in and
thank you again for having us, honestly.
Yes, my pleasure.
Thank you for having us, really.
Bless you, Jazz.
We'll be right back, folks, with more of the Jazz McKay Show. We'll wrap things up here in a few minutes. This is Kerncast.com.
Give me a hug.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
That was difficult. When you think about what a family like that's going through, and I was impressed with the calm composure of both of them.
It was amazing.
I just can't help but think about poor John. 2 years the man's been out of work, and he returns to work, and 3 days later his son dies. It's just
you could feel it.
Yeah.
In this room.
They're good people.
Good people. Lost a son. I lost a stepson to suicide. And to listen to their story, it just brings it all back. That another life was lost, because he wanted to save his dog of all things.
Yeah.
It was such a touching, so moving story.
Well, I just I think the loss of any family member is tough. The thing that just when I spoke with Rhonda. The other night, when I spoke with her on Tuesday, what struck me was the response that she spoke about that was coming through the Facebook, through the social media stuff.
Yeah.
And it made me think a lot about just good, decent, common civility. Why can't we? How can you possibly say something as insensitive as, well, it's his own damn fault because he shouldn't have been on the railroad track. What's he doing on the railroad track? Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Just shut up. I am sick of this crap. I've been dealing with it personally for 3 years now. There are people out there that are still claiming, they're actually saying that my wife is not sick. There are people out there saying that this was all a scam, a sympathy scam, and a way to cheat people out of money on the GoFundMe campaign that Bernice Carr, bless her heart, started for Laura 3 years ago when she was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease as a result of her lupus. And there are still people perpetuating the lies and the rumors. Where's the damn civility? You want to know how my wife's condition is? Come on over to my house. Or drop by the hospital the next time the poor thing is in. The next time she's in a hospital. Talk to her doctors. I mean, God damn, man, can we all be freaking civil with each other once in a while? Can we all just reach our arms out to people like Rhonda and Jonathan? Comfort them in some way, some words that you can possibly say that are positive. I think their faith is what's the most impressive, is their faith in God. John mentioned that, his mother died when he was very young, and he spent a lot of years angry at God. But he turned that around, and people can, and people should. Just because you have a right to say it doesn't mean that you should, all right? I would just like everyone to take a breath, do like a good friend of mine has done, several people that I know. Mr. Puck is one of them. Years ago, Mr. Puck walked away from social media, sick and tired of all the negativity. And if that's what it takes, then do it, Or reach out to people like Rhonda and Jonathan. Show your humanity by giving them some sort of something positive in a comment instead of something negative. Larry, thanks for being with me again this afternoon. It was as always, it's always good to have you on the show. We sit around my house after we get off the radio station, and we do our own show in my living room.
We need to record that and put it on
here. We should do that one of these days. I don't know if we can do that. I think that's a good idea.
Why, is drinking on the, having a little Bloody Mary or something illegal?
Bloody Mary? Is that what
you're Bloody Mary, yeah.
Well, anyway, listen, folks, I appreciate you all.
Oh, man, I do too.
In.
Yeah.
And
even all the haters.
Yeah, we love you guys too. We love
Yeah,
you all.
for sure.
Because if we don't, nobody will.
Yeah.
God bless America. I'm Jazz McKay for Lugnut Larry and the Goose. We'll see ya.